Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any video from my channel.
Yo! Welcome to LCameraTV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share cool things like Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and wherever else. And guys, don't forget to turn your notifications on. I never want y'all to miss a video. You know what I'm saying? So turn your notifications on. I know I got a little thing in the front that tells you to turn the notification on, but I want to tell you also, so you get told twice, do it, so you never miss a video. All right, cool. There's a report that came out a couple days ago, that I didn't make a video about, so I'm making a video about it right now. It's a bad report, but I think we'll be able to withstand it. It's not something that, you know, is a good thing. I mean, it was kind of like a precursor before, but we just got the information about it, like I said, a couple days ago. So definitely want to get into that. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about, so let's get started. The bad news is my man Chris Manhertz ain't finna start off training camp with us, man. You know what I'm saying? During mini camp, he, you know, kind of got carted off the field. I talked about that. And, you know, everybody says precautionary reasons, which was probably a lie. Or maybe not a lie, but the injury is worse than they expected it to be. So he is going to miss some time in training camp, which sucks because I like Chris Manhertz, man. You know, he was getting two lies under Greg Olsen and Ed Dixon, especially when Greg Olsen went down last year. It was basically Ed Dixon and Chris Manhertz that were, you know what I'm saying, on the field most of the time. And I think he did a pretty good job, man. He did good enough for them to, like, you know, kind of, you know, not really worry too much about Ed Dixon leaving, especially because they didn't have the money. And, you know what I'm saying, he was kind of like the second tight end on the depth chart behind Greg Olsen because, you know, he was on the team longer, whatever. So it does suck, you know, you hate to see that, whatever. I'm just happy it's not a injury that's going to hold him out for, like, you know, a few months, you know what I'm saying. It just, you know, keeping him out of the beginning of the training camp, which sucks, but, you know, that's better than, like I said, you know, a torn ACL, like having with Kelvin Benjamin or something crazy like that. So it does suck that he's gonna miss the beginning of training camp, but at least it's not a long-lasting injury. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he'll be back, and you know, before the season, you know what I'm saying, and he'll still be, you know, productive and doing what he's supposed to do. But it just sucks to see, you know, this early in the season that, you know, we had a player that was injured. But like I said, I'd rather take an injury now that's, you know, gonna hold him out for a little bit of training camp than you know what I'm saying, a non-contact injury like what happened to Teddy Bridgewater or Ryan Tannehill or Kelvin Benjamin, and it'll be like a torn ACL, torn, you know, MCL, whatever. So I guess, you know, even though it sucks that he's injured, I guess it could have been worse. Positive in this, even though there's not much positive in a player getting injured, you know what I'm saying, but you gotta look at the brighter side of things most times. But the positive thing about this is that we'll definitely get an extended look at Ian Thomas in training camp. And he's probably going to be bumped up to second team reps, which, you know, is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He's going to go against the second team. He was kind of getting third team reps, you know what I'm saying? And I like Ian Thomas. I think he can be pretty good for us. Obviously, he's still a little raw, so it kind of, you know, calls him to action a little bit earlier. And he might have to, you know, take on a little bit more workload. But I think that's definitely going to be good for him. I think it's going to be good for him to, you know, become a more all-around player. And especially, you know, him being around Greg Olsen and, you know, going against harder defenders than he was initially, I think it'll help him out a lot. I mean, he wasn't really that big of a passing target during his college days. Even though he, you know, he seemed productive, he wasn't, you know, a huge focal point in their offense. So it is going to take him some time. And I think this, you know, will be a positive for him as far as his growth and development as a player. And, I mean, that's a good thing. But it is sad, like I said, to see, you know, a player go down, whatever. But I think Ian Thomas could be a pretty good player for us. I was always on the mindset that he might push Chris Manhertz because Chris Manhertz, you know, obviously was, you know, undrafted, whatever, and he played pretty well. You know, he's a pretty good blocker too. But you know, as a receiving threat, you know, sometimes he played the H-back too. So, but as a receiving threat, he wasn't really that dominant. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people feared him. I think Ian Thomas is a little bit better receiver than he is. But I think Ian Thomas really need to work on his blocking. And I think Greg Olsen can help him with that because Greg Olsen is, to me, arguably one of the best blocking tight ends and one of the best passing tight ends. So you got a lot to learn. I think it'll really help him out. And then especially being around Greg and, you know, talking to him, You really learn the playbook, the schemes. Because Greg is, like I said, man, he's a coach in himself, man. He's a coach on the field. I mean, there's multiple times I've seen clips of him, you know, and Cam Newton talking about the plays they're running, or him, you know, saying trying to correct Cam on some of the plays because he knows his stuff, man. Just like, you know, Luke Kuechly knows his stuff on the defense, Greg definitely knows his stuff on the offense, and he's a student of the game, man, in that sense. And if Ian Thomas could get any of that to rub off on him, and, you know, say any of that work ethic, any of that dedication to rub off on him, I think he'll be in a really good situation. Because if you want to learn from somebody, you probably want to learn from a future Hall of Famer like Greg Olsen. But yeah, like I said, it sucks to see Chris Manhertz go, but I do want to see a more extended look at Ian Thomas. In minicamp, like I said, he was going against the third string, man, and even then he wasn't jumping off the page. So I want to see, you know, if he's gonna make a leap or, you know, how that's gonna play out. I think he's gonna be a good player for us in the future, but we'll see, man. He's getting called to action a little bit earlier, so we'll see how it plays out. All I know is we do not need any more injuries in the tight end group. Hopefully, you know, nobody gets injured. I really hope that, whatever. Because the guys we got behind Greg Olsen and Ian Thomas is Jared Vanderland and Evan Bayless, who both those guys I don't know much about. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're gonna make that big of an impact. I'm pretty sure they're undrafted walk-ons or something like that. I don't think they're gonna make the team. So hopefully we don't have any more injuries that will, you know, hurt that situation. But my question is, you know, if Ian Thomas plays really well in this situation, is he gonna become the second tight end on the depth chart? Because, you know, I think Chris Manhertz played well last year, but he's not like a, you know, he's not a game changer. You know, Ed Dixon was the one who was basically carrying most of the load last year when Greg Olsen was injured. That's why he's off to Seattle now, because he really showed how, you know, how good of a tight end he could be, you know, blocking and receiving. So, with Chris Manhertz missing some time, now mind you, obviously Chris Manhertz has a leg up because he knows, you know, more of the playbook and stuff like that. But with a new offensive coordinator in North Turner, that may not be the case. So we'll see how that plays out, man. I think Ian Thomas might be, with this situation, might be able to, you know, move to the second tight end on the depth chart, especially if he picks it up quickly. And if he's, you know, his blocking gets better and his receiving is still as good as it was. I think he's a better receiver than Chris Manhertz is. I think Chris Manhertz was more of a, you know, blocking tight end. I mean, he could catch a ball once in a while, but he wasn't getting away from anybody. He wasn't, you know, I don't think he was just that good of a catcher. I think he was, you know, he'll probably catch and get down or whatever, but he wasn't like, he was not an Ed Dixon. He was not a Greg Olsen. And I think Ian Thomas, you know, like I said, you know, some of the comparisons with like Antonio Gates. Now, like I said, do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. You know, Antonio Gates is a Hall of Famer. You know, we don't know how that's going to play out. But I do think Ian Thomas is better at, you know, catching the ball and running after the catch, which is a very good thing. So we'll see, man. With this whole Chris Manhertz situation, man, hopefully, you know, he might have a little setback as far as, you know, where his depth chart position is. You know, I was doing offensive depth chart, so I got to do that. And that's one of the positions I'll talk about, man, and see how that plays out. But yeah, man, it sucks to see Chris Manhertz, you know, injured, but this is a golden opportunity for Ian Thomas to solidify himself as a second tight end on the depth chart. And hopefully he takes the opportunity and runs with it, man, because like I said, man, there's not many opportunities like this, and especially you don't want, you know, Chris Manhertz come, you know, you slacking off, having Chris Manhertz come back and outworking you. So Ian Thomas is a really good opportunity for you, so we'll see what happens. Well, that's it for me, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share cool things like Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and wherever else. Also, you know, don't forget to turn notifications on. I told you in the beginning of the video. Remember, don't forget to turn your notifications on. I'll never want y'all to miss a video. Also, get in the comment section, man. Tell me how you feel about the Chris Manhertz injury. I think it's a blow. You know, I think we'll be able to survive it, but it definitely sucks. He was definitely a good part of our offense. And tell me how you feel about Ian Thomas. Do you think he'll take another step forward, or maybe he might crumble under pressure? Let me know how you feel about that. Also, merchandise, LCameraTV merchandise, shirts, hats, mugs, all types of stuff. That link is in the description below. The Patreon page, that link is also in the description below. Support me, support the channel. You already know what it is. Check out my dog Renard Stevens video. That's going to be in the end screen. Check him out. I see his subscribers going up. I see y'all checking his junk out. Continue that stream, man, because like I said, he's a funny guy. I think you really like him. And obviously I already seen some people subscribe, so that's dope. Share this with all your Panther family, friends, anybody Panther related, anybody NFL related, anybody soccer related, anybody sports related, anybody. You know what I'm saying? Share it to everybody, man. Let them know what it is. Let them know LCameraTV's out here, because like I said, I don't only just do Panther videos. I also do poetry and all that stuff, whatever. And if, you know, more people check it out, there'll be more poetry I'll bring, you know what I'm saying, more comedy I'll do, all types of stuff, you know what I'm saying. So definitely let them know that. And thanks for all the support, and I'll see you guys next time. Panther Nation, keep pounding. Y'all already know what it is. I can't wait for training camp. Like I said, football withdrawal is getting really bad. I'm like watching old football films. I need some football. See y'all next time.